Golly.
We're sorry. Hey, we're sorry. No, that's on us. That's on us.
I'm not sorry at all.
That's on us. You're not going to believe who the two hosts are either, although it had nothing to do with us. What is up, everybody? And welcome into another episode of the DNVR Show.
Bench episode.
Let's go. It's a casual Friday. A Friday so casual that only Eric and I could be bothered to show up for work. Just kidding. The other guys are gone because one of them, it very good reasons. Adam's eye is not doing so hot.
Yeah.
We also have super producer Kale on the ones and twos joining us today. And you, the diehards, the readers, the listeners, the friends hanging out.
Sickos.
In the chat. And we appreciate you hanging out with this casual Friday. I am Brendan Vogt and I am joined by the great D-Line Co. What's up, brother?
Oh, wow. What an absolutely great introduction. I feel fantastic. We're sliding into Dads and Grads weekend. What do you guys do? You have plans for Father's Day?
Do I have plans for Father's Day? I'm supposed to go home for Father's Day, but I picked the wrong weekend.
Oh, okay.
How about that? What about you?
My dad's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
All
go.
right.
I'm
Welcome
going
in,
golfing
everyone.
with my dad.
Welcome into the show, everyone. Not like you would have hung out with him anyway, even if he wasn't. Just a little dad humor to get you started on a Friday. We actually have a pretty loaded show today. Obviously, there's some big Russell Westbrook news. There's a Kevin Durant update. We're going to go online with D-Line because it's been a minute.
Bro, this is the first time hearing of it.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works with you in the show, Eric.
Sure
and then we're going to hear from you, the diehards. So the link is actually pinned right now in the DNVR Discord. Access for diehards only. If you are a diehard, go ahead, go to the website, check out the lounge tab. It's going to help you get started up there on the Discord. You can hang out with other diehards. More importantly, right now, click on that link. Come in and hang out with us on a Friday. The diehard portion of today's show will be a live mailbag. Oh. So that surely nothing could go wrong there. We'll see what the folks have to ask me and Eric when the other dads are away.
And Adam is in the chat, so we can't talk behind his back officially. It's actually in front of his. He's not here, but it is.
No, but we can do it and then go. We were just hamming it up. It was just for the show. You know what I mean,
dude?
Hey, you know what's also for the show? Some Nuggets news, real live Nuggets news. And why don't we go ahead and pull up that first link there, super producer Kale, from ALLCITY's Mark Stein, the Stein line. Denver's Russell Westbrook is declining his player option for next season to become an unrestricted free agent on June 30. League sources tell the Stein line. By the way, great picture choice. I was
gonna say, dude, burying the lead here, dude.
Did he just like crop in my thumbnail from yesterday?
100,000,000% did.
No, I think he meticulously recreated half of it.
And then on a quote tweet, even gave us some photo credit. So shout out Mark Stein,
dude. Yeah, it's not. This is it's not the calls coming from inside the house. This is ALLCITY's own Mark Stein.
So before I explain why this is, and again, I think those in the Nuggets media sphere and a lot of fans who are really plugged in, really smart, increasingly smart, this fan base every day, already know that to have expected this opt-out from Russell Westbrook. We'll explain a bit about why that is to provide some context. Okay, let's pull up that next link from ESPN's Bobby Marks, who's going to give us a little quick snapshot here of Denver's offseason, particularly free agency kind of picture. So Denver is now $10.6 million below the second apron for next season, with Russell Westbrook declining his $3.4 million option. 12 players are under contract for the Denver Nuggets. They have flexibility left remaining in the forms of that $5.7 million tax exception and the 2 players to the veteran minimum. So if Westbrook is to re-sign with Denver or another team, the cap hit is only going to be $2.2 million, but he would actually make more money. So the salary cap is going up a full 10%. So that vet minimum, the same sort of structure of a signing, is just worth more. So let's just lay this out. Even if returning to Denver was Westbrook's stated top priority, he still would have opted out because he can earn up to $200,000 more here, essentially, under the new vet minimum. To explain the vet minimum a little bit, it allows players to make a certain amount despite there being a fixed cap hit. So it's only going to hit Denver for, I think, that 2.2 or 2.3 number, depending on how you round. But Westbrook himself can actually make more money. And this is just a caveat in there designed to protect vets so teams just don't go younger to go cheaper. And these guys continue to stay in the league and continue contributing. So first and foremost, Westbrook is opting out as we expected because he can make some more money. Jake Coyne, the stat squatch on Twitter, laid out Denver's paths to retaining him. And let's take a look here, particularly at 1 and 3. Number 2 does exist. It's not as enticing, and thus we won't really consider it here. There's coming back on that 1-year vet minimum. Jake has the number here at a $2.3 million cap hit. Again, Westbrook would be making more money than that. I believe close to 3.7, which is a bit of a raise there for him if he had just opted in. Or if there's a bidding war for Westbrook, the taxpayer mid-level exception, assuming Denver remains below the second apron. But Eric, that is kind of different than what we've talked about, right? When I have asked you about Russ on this show, or Adam has, you've talked about how good he was for the contract, for the price. So if Denver has to, instead of retaining him on a minimum, go all the way up to their most useful sort of flexibility tool with the taxpayer mid-level, does that change your sort of opinion on retaining Russell Westbrook?
This is like in a vacuum stuff. I think that he's worth all of those various options that were presented, just given the fact that, you have to consider, like, if not Russ, then who? What are we going to be able to get? Who are we going to be able to get? What are we going to be able to? I mean, you have to start thinking about real team construction here. Russell Westbrook was the most frustrating player I've ever loved, then hated, then loved, then hated again. Like, I think that I ended the year with liked. All
right. Hey, we'll take it.
I think I liked him, like somewhere in the middle. But I still remain steadfast in the idea that the Nuggets should most assuredly try to re-sign him, but they shouldn't go crazy to do it. I have a hard time imagining there'll be any kind of bidding war. I mean, do you?
Well, that is something to talk about. There are some teams out there. The Dallas Mavericks need a rental guard, right? You've got Kyrie Irving, but you don't have Kyrie Irving.
I know.
So do you bring in a Russell Westbrook type? Maybe you could throw Milwaukee out there with Damian Lillard. I think the Kings have been tossed about as a free agency landing spot. There's also, though, Kill, if you can, actually, this is one of the other links I gave you there, the Tel Aviv one. Do you have that? There are rumors, actually, from the tweet has been deleted in the hour between. Okay, well, there are rumors that a club in Tel Aviv is preparing to offer Russell Westbrook an offer that we have not seen before in the EuroLeague, which I'm going to infer, Eric, means
deeply unsubstantiated,
a lot of money. But the tweet's now gone. Look, the point is, whether it's overseas or for teams looking for a rental guard or just some depth, there could be a bit of a bidding war, Eric. So, I mean, I'm with you though. I think if you can bring Russ back on the vet minimum and you have that backup ball handler, but then you're able to use the MLE or portions of it to add depth, that to me is the sort of optimal offseason, which we talked about recently.
Yeah, I mean, if your plan does not include Russell Westbrook, you have to think about, all right. And again, I hate to belabor this point. This is just my personal feeling. I believe that the Nuggets need to have a GM so that they can
really quickly. Just want to say the tweet might also be deleted because Tel Aviv also in the news for other reasons right now.
Yeah,
actually,
dude,
which we're not going to touch too much.
I was going to
but
say,
that's also a big thing that's probably having an impact on whatever that report or was not. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke that would be
let's not do
off-color
that.
and terrible.
Let's not do that.
But I mean, I got to see the full picture, but it feels like the right starting point for whoever the new GM might be is to retain the services of a guy that was, I would describe at the end of the day, serviceable, like gave the Nuggets more than they paid him for. I mean, if you want to consider how much we paid Zeke Naji and what we got out of that, Dario Saric, what we got out of that versus Russell Westbrook and what we got out of that, even though Russell Westbrook did single-handedly lose the Wolves game for us when Nikola Jokic scored 61 points with 10 rebounds and 10 assists.
I had honestly forgotten about that. So
yeah, me too. I can barely ever think about it all the time. But man, I don't know. Like I got to see the full picture. But to me, it's like I would start there for sure.
Yeah, it's huge because, well, let's just work this out, right? To your point, the chain reaction here. Let's say if he leaves, as we talked about, you'd be going into the season with a backup point guard as Jalen Pickett.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if like to mention the GM, like if they are set on this course of internal development, that applies most to the youngest guys, Hunter Tyson, Jalen Pickett, P. Watt, Christian Brown still. Do they think that Jalen Pickett is going to be they are going to be able to count on him enough to be the backup point guard? I mean, that's a big step. To be honest, like I think he's got it in him, frankly. But you want to have a guy like Russell Westbrook. It's just like, it also makes me nervous because of all the extra baggage that he could potentially bring. Like if it does look like Jalen Pickett at a certain point takes the lead as the backup point guard, does Russell Westbrook become increasingly more of a distraction? I don't know, man. It's difficult. Like I'm very conflicted on what to do, even as I'm talking it out. Like,
of course, welcome to the off season, right? You're just kind of chasing your tail the whole time. You land on a conclusion, you consider something else, So I think the way I sort of like my surface level conclusion just is. At a vet minimum, yes. At taxpayer mid-level exception, it feels like it would be really restrictive in their ability to then you're down to the 2 vet mins to add, whether it's wing depth or a backup big. And if he leaves, the minimum candidates aren't great right now. Maybe DeLon Wright, ideally, or alternatively, there's the mid-level exception, and you could look at, well, you've heard the name, Eric, Bruce Brown returning.
Yes, Bruce Brown was our backup, was our de facto backup one when he was here at times, and wasn't that good at it. Like really,
that's the thing. He's a guard by default, isn't he? He's not like a point guard.
He wasn't good, man. Like we really didn't feel that great about. We liked Bruce Brown, but we didn't feel like we do about him now. Like the way that he really emerged in the playoffs is just that dog, that guy to do whatever needed to happen, hit the big shot, get in the guy's face, whatever you were looking from him. But the notion of bringing him back to be the backup point guard is to me feels dubious at best.
Okay, so to recap, Russell Westbrook has opted out. Does not necessarily mean he's leaving. Again, even if his top choice was to come back to Denver, he would have opted out to take the new vet minimum to get that $200K essentially raise. And we'll see now if there is an ensuing bidding war that could drive him up to the mid-level exception level, and how that changes the equation for Denver. And as Eric has astutely noted and pointed out, change the equation for who? Whoever's running the front office right now. It is Ben Tenzer, technically.
Interim.
But you get it. You get the idea. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about a Kevin Durant update, which, because it's the offseason.
God,
it's the offseason, so I guess Kevin Durant's in the headlines.
Finally.
Breaking news from Bet365. We have a new promo dropping exclusively for the finals. It offers customers the chance to win a jackpot of up to $100,000 in bonus bets with the first play fortune. To enter for a chance to win a share of $100K in bonus bets, you must place a 3-leg same game parlay where the 3 legs are a player to score the first basket, a player to get the first assist, and first rebound. Only bets consisting of those exact 3 legs will be eligible to possibly win the jackpot of up to $100,000. Log in to place your bet or sign up. Use the code DNVR365. Deposit $10. Place your 3-leg same game parlay. Bet for the $1 minimum. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. You do have to be 21 years or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm taking Chet for the first bet.
Are you?
Yeah.
Let's also talk about our friends at
Toyota.
Yeah. Toyota's the best, man. Toyota, they present our... Well, we're in the studio right now, but the lounge over there when we're in there.
They present to us a beautiful life outside
A
this.
beautiful life. I haven't gotten my free car yet. Still working on that. I thought sales had ironed that out in the contract.
It's at the post office to go in.
Oh, okay. It's at the post office.
Yeah, dude.
Well, Toyota's all over DNVR Studios now because Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. And trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA for generations. They built durable legends destined for greatness, perfect for our great state of Colorado. You could be conquering off-road trails, hauling the way to the world, a transplant just looking for a smooth ride in the new city. Oh, no, I lost Eric. Anything in between, you could be looking for, they have 17 models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive like the Epic 4Runner. They also even offer more low and zero emission vehicles combined than any other automaker to give you, the customer, numerous choices to reduce your carbon footprint. Do yourself a favor. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. There's AutoNation Toyota Arapahoe in Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places. Not you though, Eric. We're staying right here because it's time
son
for
of a biscuit.
segment number 2. All right, we already talked about Russell Westbrook, closely related to Russell Westbrook, just sort of as you think about his tenure in the NBA, is one, Kevin Durant, who might also
hell yeah.
be on the move this offseason. And Kevin Durant trade could happen in the next few days, Eric, before the weekend is up, with the Heat, Timberwolves, and Rockets emerging as finalists. This is per ESPN's Shams. And Eric, your instant reaction to the perennial news of Kevin Durant wanting to play somewhere else.
I don't care. Also, how can we get this level of granularity on a potential Kevin Durant move? We've not heard one peep about the goddamn Nuggets GM.
It's a great point. It's a great point.
This
He said,
tweet.
gosh darn, for the record.
No, I didn't. I said goddamn. And
Oh,
this tweet is on repeat, man. Every single season. If you find yourself aligning yourself with Kevin Durant, the services of Kevin Durant, like it is the most cursed monkey paw that you could ever pull. It's like, all right, cool, we got this guy. He's going to get hurt at some point, and then there's going to be a flurry of trade rumors and whatever. Like he's going to opt out, this, that, or the other. Man, there's like this thing that happens to old superstars where they just refuse to go into the night quietly. LeBron, Kevin Durant, James Harden. They're always they're discontent. They're looking for this, that, or the other.
Yeah.
Man, Kevin Durant at this point to me has just completely overstayed his welcome. I hate this stuff.
The old guard of the NBA, it does include, obviously there are exceptions and players like Steph, of course. But sometimes I do wonder if that's sort of one of the things I'll remember most is just this constant churn in the summers. And
it gets so messy at the end of the line for all of these guys. I just don't know why they can't go about it gracefully. Like I pray, I mean, you pray, I pray that, Jokic goes the way that he's always talked about, is just he sort of like gracefully coasts out his career, like Tim Duncan with some dignity at the end. But yeah, Kevin Durant is just like, it's just nonstop tabloid with this guy. And
what kind of drives me crazy too is how I know he's actually still a very, 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 very good player in the context of the NBA still to this day. Very, 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 very good. A great player.
Sure.
Why does he still have say in where he's going at this point? You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's going to get to handpick the destination, but you saw the report that he and is it Rich Kleiman, right? Is that his guys? That they're sorting through the options. I go, what do you have to do with the options? Isn't this a son's choice? I digress. I'm a little over it, man. He's entitled to all of it, but here's the thing. Players are entitled to choices, but not fandom and support.
Yeah,
I think that's one. The latter has to be earned.
This is it.
Right.
Of course, you have agency in your life. You can do as you see fit. But we work, and what we're talking about is something that is entirely based on fandom, rooting. Like just you get to weigh in on whether or not you like it. That's the whole thing. And I don't like it. It doesn't matter what I think, but I'm certainly not going to cheer for it or make like.
Right. I'm not going to make Kevin Durant's free agency decisions and proclivities a moral talking point.
It's certainly not. But all at the same point in time, F off.
Well, yeah. It's just people are fans of you or not, and because I think one reaction to handling things a certain way is losing fans, and I just sort of always felt like that was the thing KD missed. And even his reaction to, no one was more indignant or surprised by Denverites rooting for Team Serbia than Kevin Durant. It started by him asking why that was the case. It ended by him telling them their opinions will never matter.
No, we were lames.
So there's a lot of irony in that alone, but it's also just, man, it's
right.
You're entitled to all of it, the lifestyle, because you've worked so hard to be an NBA player. You are that good. The money, everything that's in the contract, you're entitled to all of it. But support is earned, man. Support is earned.
Yeah, and make no mistake, if he came to Denver, I would buy a shirt tomorrow.
Especially if he made them better. Bang, 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 bang.
But he's not going to, so he can get stuffed.
Nice. All right, so Kevin Durant could be on the move. What does that mean, Eric? It means it's June. Thanks for coming, everyone.
I hope that.
Wait, I'm a little confused. The whole world has been talking about KD to San Antonio like it's a done deal, and in this report, they're not even listed.
Kale, don't worry.
You know what, Kale?
Nothing is real until it's real.
Great question. Maybe they're still in the running, and the report here is simply that these three have emerged as well alongside them. But that's a really good point, Gil. It did seem like it was headed Spurs. Again, just to recap, the report here is the Timberwolves, the Miami Heat, and the Houston Rockets. Which of those destinations, Eric, even after we've lamented this news cycle, if any, would move you as a Nuggets fan?
I mean, it would. He should go to the Rockets. It really depends on the package back, like who he's going to be playing with. Honestly, like if he goes to San Antonio, I don't really think that makes that much sense because Victor Wembanyama honestly plays like Kevin Durant, and there would be kind of a strange dynamic between those two. They were both floating around the outside, waiting for that deep shot. But I mean, listen, like as you mentioned, he is a very, very, very good player.
Real good.
Which of these teams is lining up like The Bachelor to receive their rose to get 42 games of service out of him during the regular season?
Wow, Eric's spitting. I think the Rockets are the one to me if they could put together a small enough package to not gut themselves to get
That's
him.
what I mean. Like it
Maybe
makes the most sense because they're the team that suffers most from youth.
Right, and not having that kind of just go get a bucket out of the mud.
If they, for example, trade Jalen Green for Kevin Durant, then suddenly I'm like, wow, okay,
some package like that.
That actually makes me a little bit nervous here.
Right, as opposed to the Wolves, who would seem like they'd have to sort of fundamentally reshape their core to get that done in a way perhaps Houston does not.
You don't like him going to another destination where it would just be a lot more of your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. That's exactly what it was in Phoenix, which is why it didn't work. So it has to be complementary. You have to have a dominant point guard that can feed him the ball, facilitate him, make sure that he gets his open shots, make sure he gets his touches. He and Ant wouldn't necessarily, who knows, but I have a hard time imagining those two playing complementary. It'd be a lot like he and Devin Booker are right now, which doesn't quite do anything except for it's the most on paper lineup that you can have.
Right. Well, I think that's enough. Yeah. I don't think either one of us want to devote more attention to it. No. We'll address it if it happens when it happens to Houston or Minnesota. For now, Eric, before the next break, I think we should revisit an old friend, Eric.
Well, hold on. There was another huge piece of news that you're just glazing over.
Uh-oh, what's that?
The Denver Nuggets put out a press release yesterday. You're not even up on this. They have secured the land rights to Elitch Gardens.
That's right, which should streamline their ambitious plan to sort of rebuild the area around Ball Arena, Elitch's.
Make no mistake, not around, through. They're going to completely plow over there. We've kind of talked about this, but make no mistake, the Cronkies are going to essentially create a new part of Denver, a complete new little mini city in that area. And yes, it will most assuredly actually contain a practice facility. We can probably, at a certain point, actually stop talking about whether or not the Denver Nuggets need a practice facility.
It's folded into that plan. Unfortunately, the plan is part of a much more sort of ambitious real estate play and development project that could very well be a great thing for the city, but it's a long-term thing.
Well, yeah. It's a massive
massive
development.
Real estate
it's very ambitious, and I'm sure in the end will be, a remarkable thing. But yes, at the moment, I would imagine we're going to be talking about whether or not the practice facility is going to be coming for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, it's probably not going to impact any free agencies with Jokic around.
No.
But It should streamline the process there. So that's good news. And you know, the plan as it's outlined does seem pretty intriguing as far as the impact on the city and not just the Nuggets. So that is cool. You know what's cooler? The internet.
Hell yeah, it is.
Well, we're gonna have to break in like 5 minutes.
Oh, no, this is tough. So we're gonna banter.
Let's span over to. Let's like completely.
Or we could do a break halfway through.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Let's derail it. Ready?
Wait, let's just get it started. Get us in there.
Let's go. Go inside the internet, no telling how strange it will get. We'll look at memes and we'll look at GIFs. Everyone will try to riff. It's online with D-Line today. Wow, like an old shoe, like an old digital shoe. We are back.
It's a little wet and moldy, but it still fits.
It doesn't fit, and it is moldier than you even expect. It is online with D-Line. What a beautiful renaissance. I think everyone's been waiting for this. Cal! Fire up the first link. I don't even know what it is. Let's find out. Into the internet we go. Oh, yeah. So this was provided to me when I was, as I do, near daily cry about AI and how it's derailing anything beautiful about what it is to be a human being.
Well, Adam just uses it.
Well, yeah. Well, Adam programs each show. Anyway, so this was shown to me to show the true power of AI. So in going back, asking about the most famous game against the Utah Jazz, the Magnificent Seven, you'll notice there's a couple details: incredible performance, Nikola Jokic's dominance, Jamal Murray's contribution, and then you get down to the bottom, other key players. The bench also provided significant contributions with Julian Strawther and Christian Brown stepping up.
I don't remember that, Eric. I remember it a little differently.
As I recall, if memory serves, I don't believe that those players were out of college at that point.
No, it was Torrey Craig and Vlatko Chanchar.
I actually don't think Julian Strawther was even in college yet.
Yeah, dude, I'm not sure he was born, frankly. This is what a dark future, because the other thing is that like people just take now anything that AI gives you at face value. There's no, like, the only way you would verify it was to just check it with AI, right?
It's like and now you just Google stuff and you get that first.
You just get that. You're like,
I guess that's true.
Wow, Christian Brown really was part of the Magnificent 10 or 12 or however many extra players that would add.
Yeah. Also, our friend in the chat here points out magnificent.
I know, dude, the whole thing, the entire thing is complete, absolute nonsense. Again, the future is dark. Don't allow it to happen. Also, there's no avoiding it. So I don't. That's
you know what's great. I had a different link in here. I thought we were going to first. That's so wholesome, and instead it was the most bitter thoughts from D-Line before we head into a break.
I mean, did I mention my dad was dead?
Yeah.
Let's go to break.
Okay. I don't know how to segue this. Miller Lite. Miller Lite is the original light beer. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it ain't been broke since 1975 when Miller Lite came up with the go-to beer to fill up the cooler on a nice hot day. Maybe the grill's out there as well.
Ooh, the grill, get some flapjacks going.
You're already eating some calories. You don't want to be drinking too many calories. They say beer is like drinking bread, which is why I like it so much. Just kidding.
That's why I always put a hot dog in mine. That's
why on the wrong side of 30, Eric, I have learned what light beers are all about. Yeah. I used to think light beer, you're either in or you're out.
What are we doing?
Not true at all. As it turns out, beers make you look and feel worse sometimes if they're too heavy. Not light beers. At 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces, it's a great choice without weighing you down. Perfect for summer. Perfect for Nuggets wins. Perfect for Nuggets losses. Perfect for Nuggets off seasons. Perfect if the Nuggets have a general manager.
Simply
perfect if the Nuggets do not have a general manager.
Perfect for land acquisition.
Miller, pretty much everything but being a child or driving. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/DNVR to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. I love when they put that in the you've seen Miller Lite.
Yeah,
you know, all the beer stores, they have it.
Cheers. Where would I buy ketchup?
Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly, drink responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. You know who does not drink Miller Lights?
Who?
The people installing your floors after you've picked one out at Empire.
Maybe after
today.
they've installed it, though.
Afterwards,
Give them
that's Miller time. That's Miller time. While they're working.
No. That's Empire time.
That's Empire time. And your time as the customer. So in addition to promising the installation team not showing up drunk, Empire has a lot of things they want you to know about how they do business. They're the best bet for new flooring. Why? Because they live and breathe flooring. They'll be with you every step of the way. This could be a overwhelming process, sometimes an unfortunately surprising process. With Empire today, it's about picking out the right flooring and the right colors for your space. You want to see how it looks with your furniture in your house before you make any costly commitments, before you bumble about blindly in some huge box store.
Is there Miller Lite here?
Get precise measurements taken, have all your questions answered. So again, there are no surprises. With Empire today, you get clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can schedule installation with a separate team of professional installers as soon as the next day. So schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. DNVR listeners can receive a $350 discount when using promo code DNVR. That's a lot of money. A $350 discount with code DNVR. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday/DNVR for full details. And with that,
Quite substantial.
I
Okay,
hand the reins back to D-Line.
Fire up the intro again. We're back into
Just run the intro again. Run it again.
Okay, we're
Perfect. Just the worst part. Just the absolute hardest part on the ears.
Just the portal back in. We just had to fire up the modem. Kale! What else is going on online these days? Would you show us, please? Okay. Can we get sound on this one?
Just 20 seconds, I think.
Yeah,
for this
dude.
one
So
is good.
Tyler Hero, let's just let the man speak for himself.
Think so?
Yeah, but I don't think he dropped the 100.
Are you
You
serious?
don't?
No, I'm dead ass.
Wait, so you don't believe in shit that happened like 200 years ago?
What about the moon
No,
landing?
hell no.
Wait, really?
What about the moon landing?
No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe anything that happened before 1950.
All right, that's perfect.
Wait.
Okay, what to say? What to say about this?
Well, I've got a good place to start. Do you know when Pat Riley was born? 1945. So there's one thing.
It's the one thing. So
Pat Riley being born.
So let me just make sure you are positing that the world and the existence began at Pat Riley's birth?
I'm apparently 5 years after.
Well, no, I mean you're arguing with him, saying that how could it be when Pat Riley was born 5 years earlier?
is
That's
Pat-
actually the start, the genesis.
That's
of this
correct. The real Big Bang.
So how woke can you be until you're right back asleep? Is this the line when you like the Earth is flat? One thing.
This is an
right?
incredible line, first of all.
Earth is flat. Like you just have to reject all that you've been given. The teachings were wrong. Everybody's been bamboozled. Obviously, we didn't go to the moon. We don't know the temperature at which steel melts. I guess this is simulation. Like he believes we're in the simulation, right? That's really what you would have to.
I think you're giving him too much credit.
But what I don't.
think it's fleshed out beyond the sentence
It's
that
certainly
you
not.
heard.
And believe you me when I say I did not go and get any context for this. Go and listen to any more to make
can
sure
we
that he
also
gives
have-
some kind of. Go ahead.
He prefaces he doesn't believe anything that happened before 1950 by saying he doesn't believe in the moon landing, which happened in the 60s.
Incredible. You're right. That follow-up question was that's so good.
You know what the worst part about the moon landing was faked argument is that we sent like 10 more missions up. Like 12 people have walked on the moon, at least.
Dude, this is great discourse for the chat. Thank you so much. What else do we
Like
got?
maybe the first one was faked, I'll give you that, but we kept going back over and over. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, Tyler Hero, how do we get him to Denver? You know what I mean? Adam was saying we want thinking players, and sometimes you don't like the box is so restricted that you have to think so far out of the box and then posit a theory that I've never even heard before because it's the dumbest thing anyone's ever said live on the internet.
I want to hit you with one because I want your reaction. Kill, do you have the links I put in there as well?
I just have the ones
surprise
D-Line
links.
sent me.
Okay, gotcha. Does D-Line have the Wemby one? No. All right. Yeah,
I'm sure I have a reaction. I'm positive.
So yeah, Victor Wembanyama is taking his retreat seriously,
Scroll down, okay.
and doesn't want to be disturbed. Performative, my butt. Sightings are rare, though monks have gotten photos and autographs, while tourists mostly leave him alone. Sightings are rare, Eric.
Is he in this? We're supposed to find him?
Sightings are rare,
Let's look.
like the Loch Ness monster.
He goes, he's like
the biggest monk you've ever seen.
He's like, listen. I don't want anyone to talk about me. I'm going to go to the monk, the monk retreat that is also a tourist attraction. Like, go to
You're such a dedicated hater.
well, listen, man.
Can you scroll back up? Oh, that's all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's
Can
really
we see
not.
one image of Jamal Murray doing eating some flapjacks? I've seen 8 images of Victor Wembanyama who does not want to be pictured.
Reporting here that Shaolin Wemby, that's the quote. I didn't make that up. Has been waking up at 4:30 a.m. to run and been spotted occasionally near Bodhidharma Cave. Thank you. And on temple paths. Morning training typically happens inside body temple grounds while lunch is offsite.
Could we get one update from Jokic where he isn't playing volleyball? Like, we know every single thing that Victor Wembanyama has done on this secluded retreat. Anyway, whatever. Cam, what else is going on online these days? Let's find out. I can't wait to find out. Oh, we didn't really hit this yesterday.
We didn't.
2 years ago, brother. Look at this.
2 years ago yesterday.
Take me back. Remember when life was so simple then? We didn't realize that was the last happy day in our life.
It was such a happy day, too. The best part of this video is you see Flacco's in the back. Oh, there's that Flacco there? Yeah, there we go.
And they're all in the pool. It's honestly kind of dangerous what they're up to, but nobody cares when it's such a joyous occasion. I mean, this was really the beginning of the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, thanks for framing it that way. I was wondering if the chat would want to maybe toss out some ideas for emoji of the 2023 title run.
Emoji of the 2023
title run, because I don't think we were doing it then. So, chat, throw out some emojis of the 2023 title run if you have some time.
Oh my God, dude!
Would it not just be the trophy emoji?
I guess it would just be the trophy.
There it is, the trophy emoji awarded for emoji of the 2023 run. The happiest moment of our life and the last day that I was happy as a person.
Well, I may not have a traditional education in journalism, but at least I know how to ask good questions.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Good. Not yes or no, not one answer quickly over questions, but really leading open ones. Okay.
All right, let's end this segment. It's terrible.
Wait, we got one more.
All right, let's bring in the diehards, though. They're better. Oh, yeah. Our own impetuous reporter who did apparently go to journalist school has given us the real scoop. Aaron Gordon spotted wearing a very customized version of his own Nikola Jokic. What is the name of this shoe? Do we know?
Oh, no. Don't ask. I'm the last person. Yeah, Jokic ones, I think. The Joker ones, probably?
The Joker ones.
I'm not a shoe person.
Where he's got the face on the side. What a cool guy. Man, Mr. Nugget. We should re-elect him Mr. Nugget, shouldn't we? Just every year, just reaffirm that my man is Mr. Nugget. Everything he does.
Such an underrated tidbit in the Aaron Gordon sort of attending the school of Jokic stuff is that they are the two athletes represented by that.
Dude, everything Aaron Gordon does, I'm like, golly. Like, how can it get any better?
Man, hey, Eric, that was great. Thanks for taking us online.
Yeah, offline. Let's
Although technically, stay here. The show's still online, so don't power anything down, especially if you're hanging out with us in the Discord and possibly trying to come on here to. And we have, I don't think your name is Marco.
It's Jared. I'm changing it.
Jared. Welcome, Jared. Where are you calling in from?
Oh, goodness. I can barely hear you guys. It's kind of a little scratchy, but I'm calling in from Colorado Springs.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, we won't make you listen to us then. We'll give you the mic. It's a live mailbag today. Do you have any questions for us, brother?
Yeah, I mean, now knowing that Russell, the whole situation with Russ is going on, we're also unsure about what the Lucy G is going to do. We miss Bruce EV. Who... I love bringing that one back. Who is more important for the money? Because I don't really know what they're projecting as far as what we would pay Bruce for. But I feel like if we're getting Russ, it'll be on a vet minimum. I still feel like he's I don't know. I liked him as a Nugget. I really did. But of course, we love Bruce too. So for the money, who do you think is the best pick?
Well, I would
two.
say we're not clamoring to get Bruce Brown as much as he's clamoring to get us back. I like the fact that Bruce Brown desperately wants to be a Nugget. I just get the sense that Russell Westbrook wants to play basketball to make money. I mean, give me Bruce all day. If I am made to make a decision, like I'm taking Bruce Brown all day.
I think for me, it works out sort of, if at the taxpayer, I would probably prefer Bruce, but I'd love Russ to come back on the vet min, and then you can still go add Bruce.
I know.
And I care less about fit there and more about, then you can stagger. You have a little bit more lineup versatility because you don't really want to play 5 bench guys together anyway. So
what was it in game 7 that derailed? Oh, that's right. 5 bench players that were the worst combination of players. Absolutely made the game into a laughing stock and ruined our season.
Jared, I'll leave you with a question here. Do you want Russell Westbrook back? Does the price tag change it for you, as we've talked about today?
I feel like I think I want him back. I mean, he was such a vibe, and part of the whole
Undeniable
Nuggets, part of the whole golden era right now. I feel like, yes, of course we want to capitalize on Jokic and his whole. I mean, he's a one-of-one player. No other team, no other big market's going to have a player.
I think he's
like
a one-of-zero player.
We're definitely not. Yeah, right. So for me, I'm at the same, I want the best for the Nuggets, but at the same time, if they end up just having Russ and he's a terrible year, and I'm you know what, I get to watch Jokic every single night. It's who cares? That's not a very thoughtful way of putting that, but that's at the end of the day, that's kind of all that really matters. I mean, I don't know. I want him back. I liked him as a Nugget, but if he signs elsewhere, yes, please bring me Brucey B.
Yes, perfect way to put it. Yeah,
let's keep it rolling, man. While we've got you, do you have a sort of take at all on the Nuggets front office situation, which is still open-ended, unfortunately, here on Friday, June 13th?
I mean, I don't know anything about Ben Tenzer, honestly. I remember I think he was on the show last offseason or something, right?
The season before, yes.
Season before, okay, yeah. I mean, seemed like a good dude. I don't remember
very good
taking
dude.
Negative away from that, but I honestly, Tim Connolly would be great too, of course. I would like to just know who our GM is, though. Yeah, we've all been kind of thinking. I mean, I feel like at this point, I just want to hear who it is. I don't really have. I can't say, oh yeah, Ben Tenzer for sure because of this. I don't know that much.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we all are. I think we all sort of feel like it's. I mean, honestly, reacting immediately to any GM candidate is an exercise in folly. You'll just look wrong regardless because you don't know how people are going to act when given the position. But it would just be nice to know. But I do feel like at this stage, right or wrong, if they do announce Ben Tenzer, it's going to be met very poorly online. The online reaction is going to be poor. Mm-hmm. Whether that doesn't mean he's going to be a bad GM, but if that is the case, they just need to prepare that it's not going to be received well.
Completely agree. Jared, do you have any more questions for us before you bounce, brother?
You want to know about my dad?
Jesus. Yeah, happy Father's Day, Eric. It's been a couple days, huh? Nice. Living a good weekend, huh? Yeah. Okay. No, I think I'm good.
All right,
Jared. Thanks so much for joining us, brother. We appreciate you, man. Okay, we're having some technical difficulties here with the link, so let's go ahead and head to super chats really quick.
Oh, we are. We have no more.
Oh well, we only have one of those, so.
Oh, perfect.
Super great.
Justin Calvert with a question for us. If the Thunder lose the finals, watch them send a massive package to Phoenix for KD, only for him to ruin yet another franchise.
There's no way. Although they could.
I would be shocked if Kevin, a team that doesn't have to sort of, we need a star, let's put too many chips in for Kevin Durant. They could make a push for Giannis.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really want to talk about the Thunder. they're like the embarrassment of riches at this point is so disgusting. Sounds like maybe we got another call.
Nope, it's still just Jared.
Just Jared. Okay, cool.
All right, awesome.
I thought we had maybe like a whole line of, but
There's something going on with the link, man. But we'll banter between us. I know you don't want to talk about the Thunder, so
well, we can talk
let's
about.
talk
Let's talk about the next game. Like we all reacted right after the last game. Going into the next game, what is your prediction on what
I was going to ask you. I think it's time to kind of stop just assuming the Thunder are going to turn this thing around. That's what I felt after game one, especially because we saw the Nuggets do it. Obviously, this has looked very similar to that series so far, including with the quick turnaround here. But I think the Pacers, when you reach like this close, you're just 2 wins away, and your whole sort of playoff ethos is shock the world. And you've gotten here, despite reaching the conference finals last year, you've gotten here each round, maybe people not expecting you to win. Each round, including massive comebacks, miracle shots. I don't think they would care at this point if they were playing the Thunder, the Bulls, the Warriors, the Spurs. I don't think the Celtics of all. I don't think it would matter to them. There's an element of
like Thunder, Munder, Blunder,
that meme.
Pacers in 6.
I really think there's an element of when you're that close and that's sort of been your whole ethos. It doesn't really matter who's in front of you, right? Just keep doing what we're doing. It's gotten us 2 wins away from perhaps the least expected title in league history, or at least in recent memory.
It would be honestly like very inspirational in the sense that it's so rare to have an unexpected outcome from an NBA series. It's almost always, the NBA playoffs nearly always goes chalk. The team you expect to win almost always does. It would be awesome. That would actually be an absolute win for Adam Silver's era of parity, just where you don't have the anticipated outcome. And so you do watch because there is a lot of intrigue and mystery. But that being said, I still think the Thunder are going to win. The Nuggets were up 2-1, weren't they?
They were. Thanks for bringing that up, man. Yeah, there were some missed opportunities to close it out for sure, if I remember correctly. But but if you sort of take, which I know is actually impossible for you, if you sort of take your Nuggets resignation out of it, the Nuggets are out, my heart's broken. Does this finals present any intrigue to you just on a surface level? The larger question being, Eric, with the era of parity has come an unintended perhaps consequence of, I think, what people feel like is a less glamorous finality in the NBA Finals, a less glamorous grand conclusion to the season. In that, okay, it's cool that the Pacers could win. Did it maybe feel like a bigger event when it was the Cavs and the Warriors and LeBron versus Steph and all of that?
Yeah, listen, at the beginning of this series, at game 1, I was like, we were all this way. Like, why are they doing this? Like, you're just wasting time. It took forever to get into it. There's so many days off in between. There's no pomp nor circumstance. There's no build up. Nobody's talking about this thing. And now, 3 games in, like, it really does seem like the good basketball is going to prevail, and that the casuals, as it were, are going to be, and meaning, of course, the people who work at ESPN have to like look inward and try and figure out if like they've been focusing on the wrong thing the whole time.
Right.
Like, oh no, there's no star power, even though again the league MVP is in the finals.
It's a really good point, Eric.
But apparently, like the league MVP just is in the finals over and over, and apparently that's not enough star power. You have to have like entrenched garbage star power. You have to have like if not one of these aged stars that is ruining the league with their tabloid behavior, that apparently is not good enough for the quote unquote casual. Nothing makes me crazier, and I'll take this to my grave. We talk about it all the time. It's the most absurd notion that somehow the city on the front of the jersey matters as to whether or not the team is worth watching.
Yeah.
This doesn't apply to any other sport.
And that's why I kind of am not interested in the discourse about like, oh, I don't care about this finals. I'm disheartened by it, as in the Thunder jerseys represent Nuggets defeat, and it bothers me.
Yes. Well, of course. I mean, like, we hope the worst for them, but at the same point in time, like, they represent a very clear, like, if not now, another part of the changing of the guard.
100%. And it should be healthy for this league that it's Oklahoma City versus Indiana. Maybe not in the short term, but that's kind of what I was getting at. Is there's a lot of, this may sound shocking, talking out of both sides of our mouths online as a collective sort of NBA universe, faniverse about what we want, right? Like initially, when the Cavs and the Warriors went colliding every year, that was this incredible event, and everyone lamented the way the rest of the season was essentially rendered futile, unnecessary. Everyone, why am I going to watch the NBA? It's just the same two teams every year. Now you have the Thunder versus the Pacers in the finals, and people are going, well, this is boring. Like, I don't want to watch. It's like, I actually do want to watch.
Do you find this? It's like if you were somebody's like, oh, hey man, you got to watch Breaking Bad. It's great. Just watch the finale though.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about? There's like so many things that come up. You learn about players, like you learn about their plight. You
Right.
learn about, and not only that, like, do you not like basketball? Is it not enjoyable to you to watch basketball, to watch people perform superhuman feats on a night-to-night basis?
And people always comp to the NFL, right? Well, the NFL, if they have a mid or small market in the Super Bowl, they've done a great job of telling the story and the identity. And the thing is, if we just all embrace the parody stuff, including league media partners, it's going to build over time to where the next time it's Indiana and OKC, that's not some great surprise. That's not some huge disappointment. It's just the way the league works. And like, what do we know about Indiana in this version of it? I actually think their story and their identity has been sort of propped up and told and unearthed of the pace they get at, the connection they have, the way they can sort of play, 1 through almost 12 if they really wanted to. And the Thunder the same way. Like, the Thunder's defense and the way that they play their play style, I feel like it's very pronounced. And so I actually think you do have this sort of, kind of hypothetical NFL matchup of maybe the markets themselves aren't shiny, but the team identity is, the matchup is, the players are still interesting. And I think if people just kind of stop looking for their biggest issue with finals as they come individually, they might find that the sort of trend of the league is acceptable.
Well, so hold on. So imagine you are granted czar of marketing, as it is attributed to the NBA. Like, what do you do? Like, how do you?
It's a great question.
How do you get this going? Because obviously, like, they have made many missteps starting years and years and years ago. It's deeply entrenched into the entire zeitgeist of the league, the way it's thought about.
Yeah.
I mean, people point to the TNT show. Just all they do is just talk about how terrible every game is and how bad the current players are. ESPN can't get out of their way. They only want to talk about Kevin Durant. They only want to talk about LeBron James. Like, how does Adam Silver start this? How does he get this going?
It's a good question, because it's one thing I've noticed is it's really easy to just on a podcast say, well, they have to market to these teams better. But like, what is our actual sort of grasp of what they are or are not doing? Like, what are the particulars of that conversation? I would start with the media partners and like frankly, just ESPN, I think, is a ship taking on water in some ways. And there are exceptions. Our guy, Tim Legler, anything Scott Van Pelt does, I still think Mike Breen's got it. There are like, he is a guy that still brings great grandeur to the finals, just the sound of his voice. I don't know how people feel about Doris Burke and Richard Jefferson, but Tyrese Halliburton hits that shot and he says, overrate that. And he kind of goes on a tangent because like a small handful of NBA players voted him overrated. Right. And he sort of misinterpreted it and kind of made it about the media. And Stephen A. Smith got really offended and went on this whole sort of tirade about how he's pointing at the wrong target. Like, this would be a great time to embrace Tyrese Halliburton if you're a league media partner. This would be a great time to not be combative about, like, you understand his point. This is an overlooked team, an overlooked player who have actually just sort of at each step cleared a hurdle and made it all the way to now 2 wins away. Like, that could be a celebration and not combative,
right?
Totally. The first segment to open First Take could be about more teams than just the Lakers. We all know that. So I think sometimes there's this really cyclical dynamic where maybe ESPN could say to themselves, well, we know the Lakers and the Knicks get clicks and Team XYZ does not. Well, Team XYZ does not because you are the trendsetter. Like, you are ESPN. You don't have to follow trends. You can literally set them. So it might be in a short-sighted sense financially smart to and incentivized to just talk about the say 3 teams, but you invest your time, your influence, your power as the worldwide leader into maybe making fewer dollars day to day in the interim to sort of open up the scope of the dialogue and the conversation, that pays dividends. Like, but down the line, then this can be an event that's more profitable for everyone.
Yeah.
That's less insular to just the NBA diehards, if that makes sense.
I think also there's something about the NBA like does not embrace its rich history like it should. The NFL feels like, they make sure that we talk about the Ice Bowl and this, that, or the other. And all the NBA does is bring up old players to talk about how much they sucked and how they were all plumbers and how old players' accomplishments actually aren't worth anything because nobody was good back in the day. They need to really embrace the fact that it's been an American institution for, 50 plus years now at this point, whatever. It all comes down to the storytelling and the myth making, and their view is so narrow and they're so eager to capture the youth perspective and the youth audience. And in a lot of ways, they're right to sort of try to pivot their way into what's coming next, but it comes at at the cost of making all of everything they're doing seem so vapid and empty and stupid and like embarrassing and like TikTok focused. And like, I don't really understand like why they don't stand behind the shield in the same way that the NFL does. Where, there's lots of old players coming back all the time. And it's not just to talk, are we on fast? To talk shit, but actually just to, I don't know, just to revel in the grandeur and
that, you know what I mean? That's why that's why I actually really liked the Reggie Miller, Tyrese Halliburton stuff. Now, if I were a Knicks fan, I would be incensed that Reggie Miller was on the call for that entire series, but I actually thought it was cool. Like the Knicks Pacers kind of retread, and then they literally got the choke moment in game one. That stuff was awesome.
Awesome.
So I actually think I think this has been a tremendous playoffs, man. A tremendous playoffs.
Bro, from the Nuggets perspective, it was honestly like those 2 rounds, even though it ended not how we wanted, it really, really got me back to a place where I was like, God damn it, I love this.
And I think even
love this.
League wide, I couldn't maybe flesh out my agendas. There was nothing left to make the Nuggets look good. That stunk. But the individual games have been so good. And even on some of the series that went 3-1 in the end, the games themselves were really good, which is why I'm just not interested in ratings talks about the finals. Like I'm sure that they're lower right now, but I just think people will get used to this, man. People will get used to the way the NBA looks right now, which is
bring back round ball rock,
kind of musical chairs in terms of the team that matters most year to year. And I actually think that's really cool because I remember very clearly people being so beyond frustrated with the fact that the season was futile for all but 2 to 3 teams every year. And right now, man, if the Pacers win this finals, like half the league should look at themselves and be able to at least lie to themselves next year. Why not us?
Absolutely. Why not us? No. Again, like I just want the NBA to also recognize, like they have gotten so granular in who they're marketing to also in general. Like I think there's a big feeling from a lot of people that like they're not cool enough to watch the NBA. Like if you don't already know, if you're not already following Drewski, like you're not going to get, the NBA is not for you. Like they've like pretty clearly alienated like my mother, for example.
Right. Like the All-Star game this last year was a great example of like Mr. Beast and stuff.
What
and
are we doing?
Yeah, they were looking for the kids.
This for, man?
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. And like not only the kids, but like the urban kids, the kids that are like all sneakerheads and like are cool as hell. It's like, bro, if you actually go to an NBA game, like it's everybody. Everybody loves basketball. It truly is a sport that can bring everybody together. And they've just made such a heavy culture play that is actually, they've got so much preaching to the choir, essentially. Like the guys that are already in, like they're already in.
That's the thing. They're already in. That's why I like the era of parody. Like I do. Okay, fine. For in the brief moment, the casual fan is out because it's not the Lakers and the Celtics. But what if 5 years down the line, the average fan in Indiana actually cares a little bit more because their team might win, right?
Yes.
I mean, that should be good for the league. And I actually
the people in
think it
the
is.
stands in Indiana are the dorkiest people I've ever seen in my entire life, and they love it. They were so happy. They've got their own thing going. It's great. It's beautiful. Like they've got their own. The NBA culture of each city should be celebrated, and
Indiana has a great basketball culture. Now their
yes.
NBA culture has lacked over the years, and since the Reggie Miller stuff, I mean, the Pacers are look, if you wanted to call them boring at one point, probably a good call, just as an organization in general, except all of a sudden that looks like a basketball state again. And they've got Caitlin Clark, who returns tomorrow for the Fever. So like that should be, over time, that should be good. Over time, more people in that state will care, I would think.
They should, yeah. They should make a very concerted effort to like really cover the culture of each city.
Right.
The same way that you do, we know all about the Buffalo Bills fans and the Green Bay Packers.
So true, man.
And
That's a
like
good
all
point.
of these things, it's all approached differently, and it all like ladders up to this larger idea of like what it is honestly to be an American.
Yeah, there's a really interesting in the NBA. They almost don't pretend at all that like, okay, it's the Denver Nuggets, and so it's about Denver. I mean, they're all so compartmentalized.
Yes.
Whereas to your point, part of the narratives, like that stuff's interwoven, and
It is,
it's really
man.
interesting. Let's hit one more super chat and we'll get out of here. Carlos Romero, MPJ and Hero would make great teammates in Miami. # Curious Ballers.
I would sign up for. I would subscribe to that podcast just to block it.
Want to thank all of you for hanging out in the chat. Want to thank Jared for, was it Jared? Did I get his name right? Jared for hopping
our
on.
one and only diehard.
Yeah, the only one who wanted to talk to me in D-Line today. I had a lot of fun, brother.
Hey,
We'll be back after the weekend, hopefully,
not
possibly.
me. I'm going to Serbia, fools.
Fine.
I'll
whatever.
see you when I get back.
Fine. We won't be back. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.